What's up, everybody? Coffee's done. Just having a little cup of Joe here talking about guitars in my kitchen. I got too many guitars. I guess, if you're looking at this video, you have a sickness as well. Anyway, special guitar, one of my favorite in my collection. This is a 72, one of the first runs of the LE series of the 72 Reissue 54 Les Pauls. In damn near, one of the best shapes. This guitar has been babied. In fact, I've never even polished this guitar. So I didn't do anything. And if you took a little bit of carnauba wax and polished this guitar, you'd make it shine like brand new. Why would you do that? I don't know. Maybe if you wanted to sell it. Anyway, this guitar is starting to get a little bit of, I guess, a cult following. This is a very interesting guitar, and there's a lot of rumors about this guitar. This guitar is basically the first reissue of the iconic 54, which it's got the Alnico 5 pickup in the front, and it's got the P90 in the back. So this actual run was an early 72. They made, I want to say, they didn't make a lot of them from 72 and 73. And the rumor was that they used old stock that was left over from the 50s. Is that rumor true? Well, it's debatable. I did basically a case study on these guitars, and I went down to Groon, played a bunch of original ones, and compared them to this guitar, and you can find that write-up at one of the Les Paul forums. I'll put the link in the URL link here in the video feed. But what I found was, bottom line, is it could very well be true. They could have used the necks because the Royal Light, which is on the binding, is the exact same binding that they used in the 50s, which they stopped using and they don't use anymore. It's almost like it's an acetate type material that almost looks and feels like really hard rubber, and it's on the binding. So my kind of conclusion was they don't use that binding. They didn't use that binding on anything else. Well, I take that back. They did, but it's the same binding that they used in the 50s, which, could draw some basis of comparison. The other thing about this body is it's solid mahogany. It's carved the same way it was in the 50s. The neck angle is the same. This guitar is basically 100% made like they made the 54 originals. So, that being said, it's a very cool guitar, and it's becoming, very old. This particular one is insanely in good shape. It's original 100%, which is very hard to find on these guitars because, as you may or may not know, they were called the fretless wonder, which means that the frets out of the case were already small. Les Paul liked them like that, and by the way, this was actually Les Paul's gun of choice, by the way. He had a lot to say in this design, and he loved this guitar. This was his favorite, the black 54 original. But anyways, the frets in the day were very small. So when they reissued them, they knew that they were smaller, and people weren't, really hip to that look or that feel, so to speak. So they beefed up the frets a little bit. They're still really small, but long story short, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a nicer 72 54 because of the following reasons. These are the original frets. The finish has never been screwed with. It's got no de-scratches, no nitro checking. You could polish this thing up and you can make it look mint, literally. So it's kind of my baby. I've been very fond of this guitar. It is, it's a sick guitar. Look at the yellowed headstock, perfect condition. The nut is original. Take it back here. The back of the guitar looks and feels, perfect. It's just something else. One thing I did do, or actually I did not do, was when I picked up the guitar about 5 years ago. I bought this guitar from a private collector who was pristine with his guitars. The tuners have been changed out, which the tuners in the day, if you know, were terrible. So it just makes the guitar play that much better. I do have the original tuners as well. If you'd like to put those back on. I just, the Grovers, I figured you can't go wrong, and this thing plays so well. And the sound of this guitar there's really not a lot of guitar. I mean, the history and the sound of this guitar is legendary. A lot of Hendrix stuff, early Hendrix stuff, was actually done with this guitar. Steve Miller used this guitar. The list goes on and on. The sound that you get when you have the pickup in the middle position that cancels out the noise between the Alnico 5 and the P90 it's huge. It's unexplainable, and it's like nothing else. It's just it's deep. It's bluesy. It's thick. It's clear. It's really a special sounding guitar. So that being said, you got these speed knobs that have yellowed nicely. I mean, the guitar's got a gorgeous patina on the white that's turned to yellow. It almost kind of like glows in person. But yeah, man, and the hard shell case, a testament to how well this guitar has been taken care of. Typically in a hard shell case, this is the original case from 69 to 70 something, and just take a look at the seams, like the velvet seams on that. I mean, it's immaculate, dude. For a case to be this old, it's beautiful. All the latches are great, piece of cake. Besides just a little bit of dust, you'd be hard pressed to find a better 72. And yeah, man, check out my article that I wrote when I compared the actual 54 to this guitar. And there's virtually no difference. Peace.